All right, thank you for staying with me. And we have been addressing the title from Bills 2024. From our end here, what we do is to inform you, educate you, and speak to issues of public importance. Everything that has to be, that we enhance us being that great nation that we are supposed to be. Good people, great nation, and of course, the development of these great nation so that we have the type of country that we can all be proud of as Nigerians. And of course, we have Prince Adegbite, Ademikanra with us. Thank you for your time, sir. Now, let's speak to the Revenue Service, FIRS, Federal Inland Revenue Service, quite an agency who is saddled with responsibility of revenue collection. We learned with some of the proposals in these bills, the names will be changed, the structure will be changed to the Nigeria Revenue Service. And Nigerians are asking, can't the FIRS be left away with this? Number two, are there other mandates that will be added that the FIRS can't handle? Why the need for a Nigerian Revenue Service at this time?
I think you struck it very well. In this current dispensation, we said that the government is coming with 4 bills.
Yes.
Why should we come with 2 today? Then tomorrow they will say they are adding another one. What they have done is to make it omnibus. All the 4 bills address particular issue. And for them to have come up with the Nigerian Revenue Service, it's not a mistake at all.
Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill.
That one is also there. But let's address the NRS, which is the Nigerian Revenue Service.
Yes.
It's going to take over. It's going to take over from Federal Inland Revenue Service. Why is it so? And that's why I said you struck it well, because you said, is there going to be any added mandate for that? Which, yes. Now, let me just start by saying, what is inland? Federal Inland Revenue. What is the meaning of that? Inland means away from the coast. That's the meaning. And moving towards the middle of the region. That's the definition of inland.
So it's instructive.
It's instructive. It has meaning. Those who came up with Federal Inland Revenue Service name, they knew what they were doing.
It's not just a nomenclature.
No. You do not, ideally, you do not see a tax expert by the coast. That is being managed maybe by the customs and all the rest. And when you say moving towards the middle of a region, what you are saying is that, look, they will be at the center between their work. But look, what we are saying is, holistically, there must be a revenue service that will take charge of the totality of revenue generation in Nigeria. Again, do you know we are driving taxes now by technology,
right?
Which means the country, as it were, has no border again. It's borderless. A lot of people, they do business based on the internet. If you are saying inland, why should FRS pretend on the generation of those kind of taxes? Is that not, are they not supposed to move through the middle of the region?
Yeah.
So the National Revenue Service, in line with the law, has not limited them. They were limited under Federal Inland Revenue Service. But now they are no more limited. That means the Nigerian Revenue Service will collect taxes even if it's in the air. If it's in the water.
In as much as within the territory.
And beyond.
Okay.
And beyond the territory. Because that's what I said. Because most businesses these days are even off, they are off the coast.
Yeah.
Off the border. But we would do well to collect those taxes. Let's take, for instance, a lot of content creators. They are, some of them are not even based in Nigeria. They may be Nigerians. But they give it to us in Nigeria. We monitor them in Nigeria. Nigeria subscribe to their services. And the data that we are being used, we are being taxed by either the Facebook of the world or Instagram, the whatever. And those guys were being rewarded. When they are rewarded by any specified amount of income, those income is accessible to tax. Who is going to collect that kind of tax? I tell you, Federal Inland Revenue Service cannot collect because it is inland.
Because the law establishing them doesn't give them
then
that
the mandate, it is limited. So with that, the Nigerian Revenue, and I told you that laws drive our taxes. If Federal Inland Revenue Service tomorrow insist on collecting those kind of taxes, they may take them to court. And if they take them to court, they take Federal Inland Revenue Service to court, they will win. Because if I'm a lawyer, I will quote it. And I will let the judge know that, look, what is the function of a Federal Inland Revenue Service? It should be inland. Their job, their function must be limited to the inland. Why are they bothering me? But the Nigerian Revenue Service are taking care of that. That's one. Number two, the customs are known to be collecting customs and excise duty, as it were. That function will be taken away from customs with this new law. The Nigerian Revenue Service will take charge. But the customs, as it was, an organization, will still be performing their oversight function. Oversight functions. They know the rudiment of the business. They know how much bill that must be raised. That is what they will be doing. For the Nigerian Revenue Service will be collecting.
If I may quickly, but I remember at that town hall meeting that had, Mr. Oyedele said that because many persons were saying the generation of fund by these MDAs of the government, is some have said is distracting them from their core mandate. And Mr. Oyedele said, when you said this agency should make this another agency should make it, many of them are forgotten the real reasons why they are even being established. For example, the road safety, the customs, and all of them, and they are, focusing on the revenue that will be generated. He said those functions will be taken off them, and they will be given to the revenue service so that they can focus on their
core mandate.
I use some examples to say Rwanda have a revenue service, South Africa has a revenue service.
Sure.
And Nigerians are saying, are we copying them because they have it, or there is a need for us to have it as a country? Because he mentioned those countries and said, these things are not new.
Yes.
They have been done there.
Yes.
Are we doing it because they are doing it, or we now have a need to do it?
Go to America too, they have revenue service.
Yeah, he mentioned all of
India, countries. They have revenue service. Great Britain, they have revenue service. You cannot stand alone as a professional. You copy what is good. There are so many things that we are doing in this country that is not right. And you ask me, are we copying them? We are not copying them. We are applying what is good.
So that's global best practice.
That is the best practice. They also started one day. Okay? I just spoke to you about the, what do you call it? When we started, I was talking about, I think I will pick up later. Yeah. But the truth is, you have to copy what is good. The Nigeria Revenue Service, just like India Revenue Service, Rwanda Revenue Service, they should be, they are professionals. They are trained to collect revenue. And they should be made to face that core function. The custom person is known to be able to review, to assess, and to provide documents that must be served you so that you can pay appropriate amount of taxes that you're supposed to do. So there will be less distraction. And I tell you again, there will be less, there will be reduction in the cost of cost of collection. Because in customs today, they collect, I think, as much as 4%. Ditto for the former DPR, National Union of Petroleum, whatever. They collect also for the former DPR, NUPR, whatever. They also will not be asked to collect revenue. That function will be taken off from them. Now, probably they may now begin to give them maybe like 1% to run their operation. And when you look at the 3% that is going to be chopped off, it's huge. And that will go to the pool for all the states of federation and the federal to share. So, like a medical doctor and a nurse, they have different functions. You can't be asking a nurse, for instance, now to be consulting at the same time be taking care of the patient in the ward. The doctor should do the consultation.
Functions are specified.
So, and that's what the Nigerian Revenue Service is going to do. More functions will be added, and so they will be facing their work, and the customs will become more effective because the moment they know they are not the one that will be collecting, what they need to do is to the oversight function and to provide security for the border. So with that now, things will work
Three
out
questions
very
to
well.
go. Number one in that series is this. The issue of multiple taxation is one that has gotten so many persons worried at the national level. Some are collected at the state level, some permits here and there from the local government level as well. And Mr. Oedele, in fact, since his first day of assuming that job, he has always talking about this is bad and it needs, to be, addressed. And I think you said it as well. More than 63 different kinds of taxes are collected. And he said we should narrow it down. It should be single digit. 9. Yeah, and it should not be. So are these factored in these particular bills as well? And what about the, workability? Because you know what, Prince, some will say promulgating laws, bills, having, directions and instructive is not the problem. Is the workability for Nigerians. When these things are done, it is still Nigerians like you and I that would do it. Wouldn't it be too cumbersome? Now, the FRS will be, possibly metamorphosed into Nigeria Revenue Service. Is it the same set of staff that will still do it? Will they have recruitment into other, other persons joining the service as well? Although we don't have the modality about that.
Sure.
But the issue of multiplicity, Tawe Dele is saying it will be addressed. But the Nigerianness, I'm sorry to use that, in laws, will it make it work? If you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because we will not import people from abroad.
Sure.
It's Steve, Shola, and Deborah, and Abdul, and Emeka that will do this work.
Yes, you are right. But with that, I think...
And they mess it up sometimes.
Yes, you are right. But I think that's... We know we started with this mistrust issue.
Yeah.
And we started this conversation.
Because, sorry, I'm saying that some good intentions, sometimes from the government, politics aside, you see people, Nigerian people, messing it up.
Sure. But that's what we said by talking about the mistrust initially. From my own side and your side, we can be a bit pessimistic. But I tell you, if you read through the documents very well, your level of optimism will grow that it will surely work. Because what's the essence of a local government going to a particular shop to collect business premises levy, and somebody from the state will also go to the same shop and say, I want to collect business premises.
And they just put a sticker there, collect 1,000 and go.
So if you now say only one person should do that, how is it going to affect?
How would the state and the local government have their own money?
But it's going to be through paper. One person should collect. Back end, you know how to share it. You understand me? And that is how efficient a tax could be.
So it's workable.
Very, very workable.
Basic and easy.
The second bill is the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill.
Yes.
It's going to spell out in total how all these things will work. In fact, I tell you, this program today, we can't just finish it in a day. If you want us to take one bill per program, people will now be well informed. The Nigerian Tax Bill Administration, I told you about the tax policy, tax administration, and the tax laws. Most of what we have here in the reform is our laws. Now, the administration part of it is spelled out in the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill. Everything from A to Z, how the customs will work, how the NUP, the former DPR will work, how the Nigerian Revenue Service itself will work, are spelled out in that particular bill. And there is not going to be any problem. And I tell you again, if you go to the last one, which is the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Bill, that one will repeal the Joint Tax Board Bill. And why is it doing that? When the NRS will not be focused only on the taxes alone. It's going to be on taxes, levies, and all revenue that will be coming up in Nigeria. And not only that, there's going to be tax ombudsman who will be in charge of complaints from tax, because the government of today is of the opinion that, look, if you have issues with your tax payment, the best place to go is not the court. There will be offices that will be assigned to handle taxpayers' complaints, and complaints will be resolved within 14 days. And these are experts who understand what it is. Oh, where have we goofed as a government? Oh, where is it that you have not complied? The two of them work together. These are also spelled out in the last bill. So the Nigerian Tax Administration Bill is the one that will spell out all specific functions of every agencies. And once that is done, there won't be any friction. There won't be any problem from one agency to the other. All the agencies will know where their work will start and where it will end. And when you do that, because, it's just like when you look at the road, for instance, now, you see the VIO, Federal Road Safety Commission, the Nigerian Police. To you, if you are an investor, you see these three organizations on the road, how will you feel?
Yeah.
You feel bad. I remember in those days when I was traveling to Edo some years ago, those guys are so notorious, those guys on the road. They will just jump on the road as if they are robbers. Yeah. But they said they are collecting.
And sometimes at the bend.
At the bend. And they said they are collecting. But we fought it at the Joint Tax Board. And we said we should have a single sticker. That if you have a truck, wants to purchase that sticker, then you can use that sticker to move around the country. Yeah. So once you just present that sticker, every state will. You can see that there's less of those people on the road now. And how the
ease of doing business becomes better.
That's why I don't want, I say I won't go to Edo State after that experience. But things have changed in Edo too. That has been resolved. So once you have that, once you have like one sticker, and we understand at the Joint Tax Board level, then the sharing of the revenue will be spelled out too, and there won't be any problem.
All right. And, finally for me this morning, is the fact that, all the four bills, beautiful, you have said it, some are still agitated. This morning, it was reported in almost all the papers we took, Punch, Daily Trust, Guardian, Nigerian Tribune, that the President Bola Tinubu, has directed the Ministry of Justice to work with the National Assembly on this matter, possibly, to make things better and to spell it out. Okay. Yeah, one question, but maybe two. Number one is this. What do you think the federal government, the Taiwo Oyedele-led committee, should be doing in educating the people? The media, we from this end, Western Spring Television, we have done our bit this morning. And when we say, how about the National Orientation Agency? Some of these bodies that should be speaking the language that people understand, not just only English, so that the people will know, oh, this is for us. Because it seems is the business of the elites. And sometimes the way Nigeria is whatever the elite tells the other persons that they go to bank with, either true or not true. What do you think should be done so that everybody will get the message that the federal government is really preaching? That's number one. Number two, all of these wonderful things on one side, how about the benefit to the people? Because some will say Nigerians don't pay tax, so we don't like to do it. In fact, from the days of our forefathers, the moment the tax man appears, everybody is running a tax getter. But this is 2024. You mentioned the case of footballers in Europe. They pay us huge. And in fact, some of them will have to leave a particular country. You could leave the UK, is high. Go to the Middle East, go to all of these things, maybe because they don't want to pay as many. But then they see what the taxes are being used for. Yeah. Nigerians want to know if we start paying, if we contribute, because this is about revenue. Nigeria needs money. Yeah. The economy doesn't have as many, as much as we should. Can the people trust the government enough that whatever they are paying, they will be the beneficiary of it? Because these days, Nigerians, do the roads themselves. They get the transformers themselves. In this area, in this Agumbelewo, many transformers are down. And it's the people that are paying to have it refixed. So when you are telling them, somebody will not knock at your business premises or your house to say you should come and pay, they will frown at it. How should that angle be handled? Two questions.
Thank you. Let me, at this moment, at this juncture, let me commend the federal government under the leadership of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I think he has demonstrated that he is a Democrat because left to some leaders, the moment he came up with that bill and he transmitted it on the 3rd of October this year. If he had been a dictator, I think he would have forced it down the throat of Nigerians. And before you know, Nigeria may even scatter in a way before we will now realize that what he was doing for us it's okay, because people initially, they didn't trust that what he was giving us was good. So I want to commend President Ahmed Bola Tinubu for that initiative. Be that as it may, what can we do at this moment? For instance, somebody like me, 2 or 3 days ago, I was in touch with Mr. Taiwo Yedele. He's a professor of practice at Babcock University, so I call him Prof. I spoke to him about the need for us to up our game in the area of sensitization, enlightenment, and information, and he agreed perfectly with me, and he said it's exactly this what we are doing. And you could see that what he has been doing lately is to meet with the channels. Western Spring, you are also doing your own at our level here. I want to commend you. I want to commend the management for doing this for the government. You are not collecting anything, but this is part of the corporate social responsibility, which you are doing very well. And on the part of people like us who are experts, anywhere we go, we keep on telling people this is what the reform is all about. Please do not be unnecessarily agitated. Let us believe in the government, and at the end of the day, it's going to be good for us. The National Orientation Agency, I think they are doing well to their own understanding, but I think they can do better than what they are doing now. The leader of that agency, Mr. Onilu, I think he can do better. He can come up. We should come up with local induced sensitization, the kind of information that will attract the minds of the local people is what we should begin to look at. We should not limit our sensitization even to the television, to the radio alone. We should go to the interland and let them know. Let the people know that one of the benefits, because you asked that question, one of the benefits is that those who are poor, the so-called poor people, will not pay taxes anymore. And even if
people wants to know what they stand to gain.
No, they are not going to pay. And if they are paying at all, they will pay very negligible amount of money. Take for instance, some of us in Oshobo, most of us we do not even have a limited liability company for our business. We run enterprise. Even when you have limited liability company, if you are not doing a turnover of close to 50 million in a year, then you'll be exempted from paying tax. It's going to be zero. And those big guys too, their own corporate taxes that they normally pay at 30% will be reduced to 25% over the next 2 years. So there are so many benefits to the people and to the company. And I believe you asked me a second question.
About how can the people trust the government enough to know that whatever they are paying,
it's just
we work for them?
I understand, and I like you for bringing that up. That even in your neighborhood, the transformer broke down. You have to contribute money to repair.
Their leaders driving jeeps.
Even when you repair,
so they believe they are the one funding the lifestyle.
And even when you repair the transformer, they will come back and tell you the owner of those transformers. They will say it's not yours. It belongs to them.
Theirs.
I think all these things.
And they come with their bills, you should pay.
Femi, we are building a country. And I tell you, if a country is spoiled, you have to start at a point. The China of this world, when Mao came, was not like this. The Ghana, remember when Jerry Rawlings came, it was not like this. And in Rwanda, because of the genocide that took place in 1994 in Rwanda, the country was almost reduced to nothing. Today, most of us are rushing to Rwanda to say, I want to have a feel of the country. People should have trust in their government. The government too should remember it's a social contract. It's a social contract that, look, we pay our tax. Government, you also must provide infrastructure for us. The government must please give to the people what they need. We as citizens, it is not a negotiable instrument that, hey, I give you this, I must receive. But we must believe in each other. Thank you very much.
Prince Adegbite Ademikanra. Prince Adegbite Ademikanra, pardon me.
Thank you.
He's a chartered accountant and former Joint Tax Board member, and of course in Nigeria.
Thank you.
That's very important. Thank you for your time and take, and we appreciate you.
Me, it's nice being with you this morning.
Thank you very much, and I'm sure, good people, you have been served a la carte, with information and education, especially about these elephants in the room. We hope with these arguments of ours, we've been able to convince you, as they say, as debate, and not to confuse you that, tax is sacrosanct, but then government has a right and obligation. We also have it. as well. Trust us to always speak to issues of public importance. Femi Ojo is my name. God willing, we'll meet tomorrow. God bless Nigeria. Bye.